As the Office for Women, what definition of woman do you use?
What definition of women do we use? Could you maybe give us a bit more context
of course.
for the question?
You oversee and promote a range of initiatives, funding programs, specifically designated for women. How do you define what a woman is to determine eligibility for the purposes of providing advice on women's policy to government and ministers?
So, in the Office for Women, we recognise individuals who identify as women, and that's in accordance with the Australian Government guidelines on the recognition of sex and gender.
Right. On what basis do you use those guidelines to guide that decision, that policy position?
So, Senator, in terms of answering your question, as I say, we follow the Australian Government guidelines on the recognition of sex and gender. So, I guess in terms of looking at our grants program, to take an example. So, we've talked quite a bit today about the expansion of the Women's Leadership and Development program. So, in terms of the grant guidelines, it talks about the fact that those grants are there to assist women's safety, women's economic security, women's leadership, to boost women's workforce participation, to assist to keep women safe, and then in terms of the definition, it then comes back to where I started in answer to your question, in terms of us recognising any individual who identifies as a woman.
So to be clear then, the Office for Women is not focused exclusively on policies for the betterment of biological women?
Senator, I think I can only repeat what I've just said in terms of what we do is following the Australian Government guidelines.